Okay, hello guys. So good what?
Good night.
Good night. It is
Good evening,
10.
good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. So it is 10 p.m. here. So uh,
Perkenalkan diri.
my name is Sharir. I'm part of WGMY crew. So for tonight, we demonstrate on how to solve the our recent challenge, which involved that you need to solve some binary. Okay.
Say hi.
So hi. Uh, Hi.
Cakap dulu lah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to download the binary here. So the binary is here, and we are going to start looking at it. And so okay, we already have this one here. So I'm going to open it and I'm going to extract it into the desktop. Okay. Okay, now let's look at it. Okay. So we have the challenge here, keygen.me.exe. So the first thing that I usually do is that I will try to run it first. Let me open command prompt. Okay, so let's try to run this first. Keygen. Okay, so it displays some banner and it asks us for serial key. So if I try to put an arbitrary serial key, and we say no, okay, so we need to figure out the serial key. Okay, so we need to actually reverse this executable, this binary. Okay, so there are many tools to do that. You can use dynamic analysis tool like x64 debug, okay, or you can use a full-fledged disassembler such as either Pro or Ghidra. So because we are concerned about the price of the Ghidra, so we are using Ghidra here. Okay, so let me open up Ghidra. Okay, so we are going to start to analyze this binary. Okay, so I have opened up the first Windows, Ghidra Windows. Okay, you can actually get Ghidra from here. So it is actually a just recently published software by NSA for reverse engineering. So Ghidra stands for a software reverse engineering suite of tools developed by NSA Research Directorate in support of cybersecurity mission, and yada yada yada, and yeah. Okay, so we have this assembly open here. So let's try to analyze this executable. Okay, so the first thing is that I'm going to drop into here. So it will do a basic analysis to the executable. So let's try to do that. And yeah, and just click OK, and we are done for the basic analysis. So we just double click this one to open the assembler. Okay, so you said here that the keygenme.exe has not been analyzed yet. So would you like to analyze it now? And for sure, yes. So we just press yes, and we just click this button, analyze button. Okay, so once the analysis has been done, you can see that a lot of the function has been renamed here. So already is a Windows libc function. Okay, so because this executable was compiled using Visual Studio, so we can actually see there is a lot of function that are related to Windows libc library. Okay, so we have a lot of function here. So what we are going to focus on is one function, which is a entry function. So just click at this entry function, and it will go to the disassembly of the entry function. Okay, the best thing about Ghidra is that you have two panels here. You have a disassembly panel, and you have the decompile panel. Okay, So when we do reverse engineering, we usually will use multiple tools. Like when you are dealing with malware, usually you need to do dynamic analysis. So you need to use multiple tools like either Pro with combination of X64 debug, something like that. Okay. So in this case, Ghidra is a very powerful disassembler in my opinion, and it has the decompiler here. So this will help us a lot in term of analyzing this binary executable. Okay, so from here, from this entry function, we need to figure out where is the main function. Okay, so quite the contrary from what we learned before, that main function was the first function that OS called. That isn't true. Okay, so in this case, in this Visual Studio 2015 or any Visual Studio compile executable, you usually have another function which we call as an entry, and this one is responsible for set up all the dynamic data structure, all of that, and eventually we call a main function. Okay, so I have I have looked into this function, and I think this is the main function because at above of this function call we have an underscore p argv underscore p argc. So if you play with lot of C programming language, you know that this is the argument to the main function. So let's try to look at this function. So I will just going to double click this function. Okay, so here we think that this is the main function, and if you try to scroll it down, you can see that we have found the function to print the banner. So we can see it again. So we have a banner here, and there is a function that print the string line by line. So I think this is the main function. Okay, so to ease the analysis, I'm going to rename the function first. So right click and rename function. So I'm going to put it main function. Okay, so we just click OK. All right, and then we need to fix up this parameter. So let as we all know that main function retrieve two parameters, which is the argc, which stand for numbers on parameter, and argv, which stand for the argument itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I will click this main, right click and edit function signature. Okay, so we need to fix this. All right, so the first thing we need to put two parameter here. So let's try to look at this. Okay, so how about you, I try to, okay, I click first, and here R1, so I'm going to rename this as a argc. So this is argc usually is for integer, so we have integer is the data type for argc. And as you can see here, the Ghidra has partially fixed, and we partially fixed the parameter, so we need to add another one. So I'm going to click here another again, and I'm going to rename this as argv, which stand for the argument itself. Okay, so the data type for argv is char, the pointer of char pointer. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so we have here that the Ghidra has fixed the the prototype of the function, main function. So let's try to click OK. So we have fixed it. Okay, so if we see here, we have the parameter that has been fixed. Okay, so we have argc, which stand for the numbers of parameter, and argv, which stand for the argument itself. Okay, so the good thing about Ghidra is that we can do a data flow analysis. So for example here, if you click at the middle of your middle of your mouse, click here, you can actually see if the variable is used here in the main function, and as you can see, there is no code that use this argv, and there is no code that use argc, so we will skip for that. Okay, so we are going to continue this, analyzing this. Okay, so let's look what is the function. I'm not sure whether this is a printf or puts, but I highly think that this is a printf function, so let's try to rename this. So printf, hopefully this is correct. Okay, so printf the string, and what is this? Let me take a look at this. What is this? Let me take a look first. And wait, what is this? Maybe this is not a printf, but uh, think I think maybe this is the compiler fault, because this doesn't have any meaning here. Okay, so we are going to skip this anyway. So this code block is responsible for printing the banner here. Okay, alright, so we are going to focus on the code below this, and as you can see here, as you observe that when the keygen is running, it asks us for input. Okay, so maybe somewhere along here there will be a function to receive an input, or I see fget here. Okay, and I see value here, so this means stack, and I think this function is responsible for getting our user input. So let me try to look at this online fgets. Okay, so fget received three parameters. We have first parameter str, num, and string. So str is a pointer of an array of chars when the string is copied. So this is our destination. This is our buffer. That is where our user input will be stored. And next we have maximum number of characters to be copied into str, including the terminator null character. So this stands for this str buffer. So we are going to put a num here, so to prevent a buffer overflow attack. Okay, so what happens that when fgets reads data from keyboard, and when it reach the length of the buffer, it will stop accepting, but it will stop storing data into this buffer. And next we have stream. So streams means that from where we are going to get this data. So here we have fget with three parameters. We have destination, we have number of characters to read, and we have file. So this file stand for, this file come from here and come from this function. Okay, so I'm not sure what is this function, so we can try to take a look online. So we try to look at what does that mean. Okay, no clue here. Let's try to look again. I'm not sure what it is, so maybe we can use a debugger to figure out the value of it. So wait, so let me try to use a debugger to actually get this value. I think this is a standard input std in. Wait, I will try to put a comment here. So file possible standard standard in. I think this is a standard input. So the 5 stream for keyboard input. So okay, so the buffer will be stored here, and then we have a function strc spn. So what is this? So we try to Google it. So okay, so let's try to open this. So strcspn calculates the length of the number of character before the first occurrence of character present in row of string. So what it means that from this string buffer it will look for this character, and if it find it, it will return the length from the first until where this string found. So okay, so we are going to get the length of string until the new line. Okay, and then it it does a one comparison here. It will compare if the length of the string before the new line is less than this constant here. So we can convert this constant into decimal. So the trick is that you need to right click at this number here, the comparison, the constant here, go to convert and click unsigned decimal. Okay, wait, I'm not sure whether it is unsigned or signed. I think this is correct. So what is this, that it will take the length and we compare. If less than 30, it will go into this code block. Okay, alright, so our string buffer, so if it is found the new line, what it does is that it will replace the new line with null terminator. So what it means that for every user input, when user input something until he press the enter button, the enter button will be replaced by new terminator. So the new line represents our end of the string. So maybe I can put a comment here. So as var to length of string before the new line. So here and here, what it does that uh, replace new line with null terminator. Okay, and then if we call this function and with a parameter which is our input buffer. Okay, so and then this function will return something. We return a u var 3, and then we check if u var 3 is not equal to 1, it's not equal to true, and we print no. Otherwise we will print congrats. Okay, so we are expecting that this function will return 1 if fun 0 4 0 1 0 0 0 goes true, then our serial is correct. Wait, let me fix this. Okay, here. So this comment is referring to this. Okay, so we need to analyze this function. Okay, so let's double click at this. Okay, so you have entered a Keygenme function, so we need to analyze this. Okay, so here is the user input, so let's me rename it. User input buffer, and let me rename this function. So I want to name it as serial check. Okay, so we have a function serial check which it expect a one parameter, which is the user input buffer. Okay, so let's start to analyze this function. Okay, So the first one that it does that it will initialize this variable here with its value with lot of value, and here we have an code that do copy assignment. So pc-var3 we take the user input buffer, the pointer to the user buffer. So okay, so let's look at this. So we have a do while here, so we will loop until this this variable is not null matter. So this is a good candidate for a string length function. So maybe string length. Okay, so Shiva is initialized with its value pc-var3. So this is a pointer, and this is what we call as pointer the reference to take the value, to take the character value out of the from the buffer into this function. So next we increment this buffer. So yeah, this is a string length function. Shiva, sorry, pc-var3 pc-var3 is pointed to the address at the length of this user input buffer. Okay, so this is done, and then we have reached this. So pc-var3 is here, and we have user input buffer plus 1. So this one will be checked with this. So this is 13. So let's try to convert it into a ASCII. Convert uh, here. Okay, so this statement is to calculate the length of the string. So let me put a note here. Okay, so this is our length, and our length must be equal to 19. Okay, so that's the first observation. And next we have this statement here. Yeah, we have this statement here. So inside these braces we have two statements, one statement and second statement. Okay, so if you have something like this, the value that will be representing this braces is the front value, if I'm not mistaken. Let us try to run this after this to prove if my theory is correct. So we have a function here, strchr. So what is this? So this function is to locate first occurrence of character in string. Okay, so this one is to search for these bytes. So let look at this. Where is this? 2D. So it is here. So we are going to convert this into a char sequence. So what it does that it will find, it will try to find the what we call this character, dash. So we are going to find this dash character inside this user input buffer. Okay, so let's take a look at this function. So let's look at the return value, a pointer to the first occurrence of character in the str. If the character is not found, the function return a new pointer. So if this function found this character, it will return the pointer to the initial of this, to the buffer that initially has the character. Otherwise it will return a null pointer. And oh, okay, I just remember that if you have a statement like this, So the second statement will be the one representing this big statement. So here this code will be run first, and this will be the second. Okay, so this represent the return value of this function, and next if we compare with this character, so if we compare with the null value here, so if uh if this function return successfully, then this if comparison will pass. Okay, so if the input length is 19, and if the input hash dash, and then it will enter this block here, if block. Next, okay, so this has been analyzed, so let's go into this function, this code function statement. Okay, so we have a do while here, and if we do a do while until this PC voucher is not equal to null terminator. Okay, so the first statement is that if we find this strchr, if we find this bytes, so this byte is a dash. So you find a dash, and if this function found the dash, and if we return the pointer to the buffer that initially has a dash in it. So wait. Okay, so I just understand. So this code, this block will count the number of dash inside the user input. So this one count number of dash inside user input. So this will represent the number of dash. So let me rename it number of dash or n dash. Okay. Alright. Then it will do a if comparison if the number of dash equal to 4, and then it will enter this block. Okay, so we now know that our input must have at least or must have 4 dash. So the input must has 4 dashes. It can be on any sequence, we do not know yet, so we are going to analyze this next. Okay, and then we arrive here. So this is another libc function str to. So we try to Google search it. Okay, so what does str to do? So split string into token. So we have a two parameters here. So the first one is the string to truncate. Notice that this string is modified by being broken this smaller string. And second is delimiters. So C string containing the delimiters character. This can be different from one core to another. So this function is responsible for splitting the user input by the dash delimiter. Okay. So first call to str2, what is that it will return the user input, the string buffer before this dash. So internally what this str2 does is that it will search for this character, and it will replace this string with null terminator. So we need to do it by loop. So here we have a str2 at the beginning, and we have str2 at the last. So if we want to use this function, it must be called sequentially like this. So first we provide it with the user input and the limiters, and we need to call it before the loop to get the next token. Okay, so this represent our input before the dash. So for example, if we have something like this, or we call it AAPB ccdd. So this first call to extra took, we get this string. Okay, so this is let me rename it into a serial chunk. Okay, so we have a serial chunk here, and then if we try to compare with null, so if we look at this function, so at the return value say that if a token is found, a pointer to the beginning of the token, otherwise a no pointer. So this means that the str token has finished searching for all the token, and it now return a null pointer. So if no token anymore, then it return this dash equal to 8. I'm not sure what this means, so I will put a todo here, so we will come back later. Okay, and then we have here I var 3 equal to 0, and we have a do while here. Okay, let's look at it. So 0 chunk 0 is is alphanumeric. So what is this function is about? So it's now check if character is alphanumeric. So the return value will be a value different from 0 if true, otherwise false. Okay, so this will check if the character here is alphanumeric, and 0 otherwise if the character is not alphanumeric. So if character is not alphanumeric, then return false. So the checking is fail here. Oh wait, I let me put it here. Why the comment? Oh, okay, alright. So it's all good. So we done our first check here, and then we come to this. So this will get the character. I will put into C var 1. Let me rename this variable. So we know that this is the index, so we can rename it as idx, so it looks better. Okay, so C var 1. So if we do these two statement here, so if the character is less than this character here and less than this character here, return 0. So let's look at ASCII table, so on what it does and what it means. So here we have a ASCII table. So the first check, it check for this character. So this character is here. Where is it? Is here. So we check if less than this character and less than this character. So it is checking for alphabet, the lowercase alphabet, A until Z. So okay, so here if we check for if char is lowercase alphabet. Okay, and takes a look and onto this. So we have a 2 like above, and let's look at ASCII table. So we need to find a forward slash. So here forward slash, and here. So this is the range that we are doing the checking. Wait. Wait. Let me take a look into this. So let me rename it into C. So if lower than this and lower than this is 0.
Ini cek kalau bukan lukis ini. Kalau lukis zero.
Okay, okay. Alright, right. So okay, if char is if char is not because
Is lukis. Lukis zero. Number zero.
wait, I'm quite confused here. So if it's less than okay, so that's correct because C is greater than this and C is lower than this. So same like this lah. So if char is digit.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so here we came into a code. So stack. So if you remember, this stack 0xff is came from main function. So let's look at main function again. Where is the main function here? Okay, say we have the right stack. So we try to rename this. So we can call this user input. Do it. Oh no. Let me do a undo. It looks like I cannot rename this value here, but okay, we will just remember this. So stack 0xFFFFFDA stand for user input buffer. So we go again, and we know that wait, for user input it is 90 or 80. Let me look again. D8. So maybe the value is not user input. Maybe this is another buffer. I'm not sure because the address is not same. Okay, let's just pretend that this is another buffer here and we need to look at it. Okay. Alright, so here we have an address and we have what we have here is this. We get the pointer of this and if we do a array, so this is an array access. So this is a dword, this is a integer array, and C is the index. So can we rename this or change the type? No, okay. But just remember that this is an array, integer array point at this location, and C is the index. So we have something here. Let's look at it. So wait. Suppose there are something here. How to look at this one? So this is accessing something and putting it into this var one. Wait, I try. My colleague is trying to say something. Wait. there is supposed to be something here. I cannot see it. Can I just wait? Um, it seems like I cannot see what is the value here, but never mind. So, but we know that we have a integer array here. So this is the value out of the array. So equal to I bar and plus one. Plus one. If I bar is not zero, then return zero. What is this? Uh, let let us let us mark this dodo. Okay, so here it we increment the index and y index is less than 4. Here is the another str function to find the next token, and here we have a dash. Okay, so actually I want to figure out what this there must be some data behind this address. Can you figure out what it is?
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
I'm actually quite new with Idra, so it's going to take some time to figure out this stack here. Or I can use a cheat. I can use a debugger and figure out what is the value here. So let me do that. Okay, so I'm going to open this using, what is your x64 debugs? So we have debugger here. Okay, so this is 32-bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to open this up using debugger because I have a trouble on figuring the value out from this data from this address. So I'm going to use a debugger. So we are going to run this.
Related.
Okay, and we are going to go. Let me analyze the font. Font. Wait until I enlarge all the font. And okay. Alright, so we want to go here to this address. So I'm going to copy this 4010EF and I'm going to go to the address. So wait, I think we need to, as you can see, the address is not standard here. So this means that maybe this is the ASLR problem. Wait, let me, can I fix it or use a trick? So this is the location, code location. So it is minus the base address here. Oh no, wait, this is the base for this section. So I'm going to get the relative offset to this, to that instructions. So this is the offset, and then I'm going to look at a memory map and see our offset address here, base address here. So I'm going to copy the address and plus it with our relative offset. So using a calculator here and calling this something. Okay, so yeah, we have arrived at this instruction here. Wait, let me find it. Where is it? I think we are on the correct one. Yeah, we are on the correct instruction. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here. Oh, so it will be toggle. I'm going to run this one. So let me just put some legit serial, the one that we bypass the dash checking. Oh wait, I think this is still not correct. So what have we figured out? So we have figured out that we must have 4 dash and the length is 19, sorry. So be like this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19. Okay, so our serial key must be in this form. So let me just put some value here. As we figured out before, we cannot use a lower case character, so let's try something else like uppercase. So let's try this one, and we will run it again. So we arrive here, so we want to find out the table here. Where is the table? Here is the table. Okay, and let's look into this table. So here is the table and here is the value. So we have a value here like 1 0 0 0 0 0, and we have 4, and this is the value inside the table. Yeah, okay. Alright, so this is probably an signed number, so let convert it into a signed number, signed long, and we can see we have a lot of value here inside the table. Okay, so wait, so this address here refer to this value here, right? So it going to take the value based on this character from the table, and it will increment by 1, and it will check if it is not equal to 0. Okay, and then I think we have analyzed the algorithm. So I think the last hurdle will be this, to bypass this check, because this one, all the above check is easy for us to bypass. So we need to understand this, what this check does. So we have a table here, and it will access the table using this C index plus 1, and it will check if it not equal to 0. So if this has value, it will return 0. So check if integer at based on C index is not 0 when incremented by 1. So what will happen is that, for example, our C here is let's say our C here is 4, so it will fetch the false value from the table which is here, and then it will increment the value by 1. So for example, we have 0, and it will be 1, and it will check if the the value. So the incremented value will be inserted into this, into the array again, but this one will stay. This one is not incremented. So if this will take the original value inside the array, and if the value is not 0, like this one, it will return 0. Okay, I think I understand now. So the final check is, it will check if the value in this table is 0 or not. So if it is not 0, like 1 or -7 or something else, so the character is kind of like blocked. It's kind of like, it's not allowed to be inside the serial. So the trick is that you need to find the character which the the value is 0, so it is not going to be blocked. So okay, and then what this does is that this will update the table. So for example, if uh, we have used for example, we have used 2 here, we have used this character is 2, for example B, this value will be incremented, and for the next character checking, we cannot use that again because this value is not 0 anymore. Okay, so I think I understand the things now. So I'm going to develop a keygen for this problem. Alright, so let's open up Notepad++. Okay, so let's start coding. So okay, so we need to generate the right keygen for this problem. Okay, so we know that the keygen, the serial will be in this form. So length oops length must be 19, and must have 4 dashes, and it's not alphanumeric, is alphanumeric but cannot be lowest case alphabet and digit. Okay, so these are the rules, and there is a list integer array that count the frequency of the child. That array has already been initialized by some value, because as we can see here, the table is not all 0, so we have character that the value is not 0, like 1, 4, -1, 3, 2. So we can mark this character as block list. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to copy this one because we need this one. I'm not sure about the length of it, so but I will just copy all of it. So copy, select line. So this will be the value that we want. I'm going to do a bit of cleaning. So I'm going to extract all the numbers out from this binary. I think this is enough. Let's try to take this and see if our keygen will be correct. So and this one. Beer as well, right? Okay, and then here's the coding phase. So let's copy these rules here, and for language I will choose Python. Okay, so there will be 4 dash 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, sini ya? Wait, dash will be 4. Yeah, but then if this is the key, ada 3 dash. Never mind. Wait. Dash. Okay, I understand because dash is initialized with 1. That's why for the confusion. So this will be incremented for 3 times. So we have 1 plus 3 will be 4. Okay, so yeah, we must have 3 dash. That part is confusing. Alright, okay. So we need to generate the serial. So let me think on how I'm going to design this program. Def generate chunk install the other table. Okay. Block list table, which is the one that we got from here. Okay, and then cannot generate this, so what can we do is lowercase. It cannot be lowercase alphabet and digit. So what is alphanumeric? That is, it's not lowercase alphabet and digit. It will be lower uppercase. So we can generate uppercase character. So import random. So let's generate random uppercase character. So random dot random int from 0 until 9, and get the ASCII, uppercase A ASCII, and then we convert this into character again. So we get a random character here. So C. So let's take a look at this again. Oh, wait. C is the character. I think maybe we should not convert it first. Just make it like this. And is this correct? The thing about this compiler is that you cannot trust the compiler 100%. Sometimes it makes mistake. I think it make mistake here because our table is not large, but this C, the index can be large. So I'm not sure if this is the correct the, the compile code. Let me take. Oh, sorry. How about if I look at this? No, it doesn't make much sense. think I will just copy all of this because I'm not sure about the array size, so I will just copy this value, all of this value. Wait. Okay, so here's the other things. The text. I think this one is quite nice, so I'm going to take this value here and put it into our code. Okay, and can we change this into sign number? Wait, because this is an unsigned number. I want it in a sign form. I want to be copying from here. Okay, so let's do the math. So we have 256 possible combination, and it will be this one is 4, 8, 16, 24, and I'm going to pick the next 256 value. So let me do the quick maths here. So it will be this plus 256 or f. I'm going to take all the values inside the table. So let's do the math. B03, so here until B03 until this. Yeah, okay. So this is the table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. No, let's go in. FB03 FB03 from 04 until no lah, we need to multiply this by 4 because one digit is 4 bytes, so it will be until this, until E00, so it will be until it will be until this. So I will copy this on edit, copy data and keywords. So here is the value. Okay, and we try to take a look in this table. So log this table if C is wait, so if it's not 0, if not 0, and we just wait, s equal to empty string y, len s is not 4, so we want to generate 4 random chunk, 4 character chunk, a chunk with 4 characters, and if it's not to 0, and we continue. Otherwise, oh wait, we can use this character s plus equals char c, and we need to implement the table too, so it will be block list table c plus 1. Okay, so let's try. So if name we need to call this 4 times, chunk for in range 4, we need to call this 4 times, so chunk will be append, we need to call this function time, and then we need to print. So let's try to print the generated serials. So it will be keygen dot python, and let's try to run this one. It will be in the desktop python keygen. So it stays in an infinite loop. Alphanumeric. I want to figure out what is alphanumeric. Letter or a number. Let me try to print this one. Pejasi. So the character is randomly generated, but it doesn't work. It block list table C continue. Wait. Let me think for a while. Okay. So my code doesn't work, and I do not know why. Oh, okay. So this is the problem. So I actually quite confused with the digit. So in digit we have 9 characters, but in letter we have 24, 26 characters. 25 actually, because we start from 0. Okay, so let's try this, and it doesn't work again. Why? Mm, let me do some quick debugging here. Oh, I see. It doesn't return the chunk. So let me try this again. Or I can, instead of randomly generated, I can use this trick. I think this is more robust. So we can actually remove this random input and let's see if this works. And it doesn't work. Why? Or maybe because of this. Okay, so we got it. But then why we have this character here? Or if I if C is more than or D, let N D. I think we actually quite near there. We're just missing one character here. How about if I try to pick one random character and put it inside our program? Like B? No. Nope. Because C has been already used here. So how about if I put a D? Kan masalahnya. I think I need to debug this one. Okay, so okay, so let's look. Let's just dump. So one. A B B B. Time 4 minus number 6. The one that puzzles me is that this 41A is pointed to the first entry in the table, so maybe maybe we need to, so how about if I remove this and I'm going to minus the, oh, instead I will not use this 41, so I will directly use the index here, and here we will do RVA. Okay, so here is our keygen, so let's try it. Wait, maybe I can just run from here. Okay, so Keygenme our input, and yeah, we got it, so congrats. So I think that it is from us. That's quite a long run, so it took us 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete this executable. It's not it's not hard, but it is quite confusing for the beginners because we have a lot of comparison here, and we have this table here, which you know kind of like making this problem hard, where to be honest it should not be. So yeah, I think that is it. So that's all, so thank you very much, so see you next time. If you have any question, just put inside the live chat and I will gladly answer from here,
Or in the Telegram.
or if you have something to